Brothers and sisters, praise and worship in spirit and in truth is a form of spiritual warfare. Absolutely, positively. That's why it's so important to be mindful of what you're listening to, who you subscribe to, what music you buy, what lyrics you sing. I'm telling you, music is very, very powerful, and it is a spiritual warfare tool, and it can be used against the kingdom of darkness. Music evokes emotion. Okay? So, brothers and sisters, I want to go a little bit deeper though, because we have to realize that this music is not just a feel good, I want to think about this or think about that, or the emotional side. I want you to go and deeper and think about the spiritual ramifications on what you're listening to. I want you to think about what is going on in the spiritual realm when you listen to what you listen to. Listen, I don't know what's on your playlist. You could be listening to Nicki Minaj for all I know, huh? You could be listening to Madonna. You could be listening to Beyonce, huh? I don't know what's on your playlist, but I tell you what, either you are evoking spirits of hell in your life, or you are pulling down strongholds and declaring spiritual warfare against the kingdom of darkness while you are giving glory and honor and praise to God. Listen, we're going to get deep today. Oh yeah, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is music. Music was designed for a purpose. Music came from God, okay? So music necessarily in and of itself is not a bad thing. But just like sex, people take it out of context and pervert it. Oh yeah. Whether you are listening to rap music, whether you're listening to rock music, whether you listen to R&B or folk music or gospel music, those spirits behind that music either evoke the spirit of lust, rage, jealousy, whatever the case is. My point being is that music is very, very influential. Brothers and sisters, we have to realize that we have to be, as children of God, responsible for not only what we listen to, okay, but we have to be mindful of what our children are listening to, and we have to pray against the things that are even in our very neighborhood that we hear as we live our day-to-day lives. You could be listening to something, brothers and sisters, that's downright praise and worship. You're trying to have that spiritual connection with God. You're trying to praise and glorify your master. And then all of a sudden, brothers and sisters, somebody strategically and deliberately pulls up right next to you. I'm telling you, I stop at the stop sign and I'm thinking about the Lord, and all of a sudden, you hear something so foul and demonic and perverted. I don't even want to say the lyrics that come out of a lot of people's car, and it's just downright satanic, of the devil. And you know that Satan did that deliberately. See, Satan is very strategic and bold. And the longer we serve God, we have to realize that as children of God, we have to also be bold in the spirit. And definitely we have to, when we see stuff like that happening, we have to cast down those demonic strongholds in the spirit that is trying to manipulate and trying to persuade that person to listen to it. We have to literally go to war, brothers and sisters. It's very, very important that you realize that this is not a game. Anytime you listen to godly music, anytime you are worshiping in spirit and in truth, demons hate it. We have to realize that anytime you are having this music of praise and worship, it changes the atmosphere in your house, in your neighborhood, in your churches. That's why in church, when you worship, you have to worship God in spirit and in truth. I'm not talking about the mind ministry. I'm not talking about glorifying flesh. I'm not talking about dinner and a dance. I'm not talking about people who are doing ballet or twerking. Or rap music in the church. Samantha, what are you talking about? Rap music is cool. Well, what does that spirit evoke? Anytime, I said it before, I'm hearing worship and it's intertwined with rap music, hip hop, bebop, I'm not listening, to the lyrics. I'm hearing the beat and it's drawing me back to what I used to listen to. Don't you realize that when you listen to evil music, don't you realize when you use profanity and thinking it's cute in a song or whatever, or looking at a music video or whatever the case is, even looking at something so carnal as a reality show, you are inviting those demonic spirit and that worldly nature in your life yet again. See, the devil wants to bring you back to something that is so familiar. Listen, let me keep it 100% real and raw. When I used to listen to Prince years and years ago and have all those sexual songs in my ear on heavy rotation, I was not thinking about anything other than getting my freak on. Can I be raw and real? Oh, yes, that spirit of lust permeated in Prince's music. It was so prevalent. So what are you listening to? Are you listening to R&B that makes you want to fornicate, makes you want to commit adultery? Are you listening to rap music that perpetuates, keeping it real, violence, jealousy, rage? Rock music, you listen to rock music, you think about rage, you're thinking about killing and cutting cats in the backyard. Listen, country music, talk about adultery, alcoholism, cheating on your spouse, going to the juke joint or going to wherever else, and going crazy. Listen, a lot of these music artists and genres, if it's not glorifying God, you're working hand in hand with the devil. And what does this do in the spiritual realm? What do demons want? Demons want your allegiance. Demons want your acceptance, to be distracted and entertained. So as long as you like that beat that brings you back and brings you back, whatever it is that makes you remember all those artists back in the days. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, I come from a music background. My father used to be a DJ. My brothers used to like rap music. I'm telling you, I used to sing. Listen, you're not talking about somebody who had a musical influence since the time I was breastfeeding. I am telling you, I know a lot about music. I am telling you, I know a lot about different genres of music. My very name, Samanda, was derived from a folk group, my father said, named Samande. That being said, I also know the appeal and the draw that music has. We have to take inventory. Is this music glorifying God? Is this music opening up heaven so that God's presence can be in our lives, in our home, in our atmosphere? Or are we opening up a door that will invite and invoke and saturate your atmosphere with demonic dark spirits that will allow you and tempt you back to where you used to be, back to what you used to do, and back to what you used to love? That old dirty sin nature. God cannot worship and praise himself. Okay? That's how awesome God is. He desires our praise and worship. He likes to be praised and worshiped, I'm sure, but he's not going to puff himself up in pride like the devil likes to do. Meanwhile, the devil is wreaking havoc in your life, in your neighborhood, in your marriage, in your health, in your finances, in your mind. See, we have to bring it on back to what is real. The devil is a liar, and the devil should not ever be allowed to get your time, your worship, or your praise. No, that should be what? Reserved only for God and God alone. So what do you do? What are you doing when you decide to put on that worldly music again? What are you really saying in the spiritual realm? You're opening up a door to the past. You're opening up hindering spirits. You're opening up delay. You're opening up curses. You're opening up carnality. You're opening up different spirits and demons that respond to whatever that music is perpetuating, whether it be rock music, again, whether it be country music. All types of music in all types of different genres have a specific motive and mission. And that's to evoke those emotions. Huh? Oh, yeah. God is specific. You cannot talk about God in one vein and then talk about the devil and demons in another vein. You can't have prayer in your music but perpetuate the devil all along. Listen, same thing with Prince. Inviting demonic spirits of lust, adultery, fornication, and everything else, homosexuality, bisexuality, trisexuality, whatever the case is. But yet you talking about you love God. That's the theme. Back in the days, he used to always say, Prince used to always say, love God. What God are you talking about? Who are you really serving? Listen, evil spirits respond to your desires. Anything that you're desiring, anything that you're going through. That's why it's important to not be navigating your life through emotions. If you are a type of person that wear your emotions on a sleeve and not have a barometer in terms of what you need to do and control your emotions, if you don't have your emotions under wraps, you are susceptible to putting on that old song that downright makes you feel a certain way. I can never understand why people who broke up with someone wants to put on sad love songs. Why do you want to listen to sad love songs? You already sad. I never got that. They want to listen to what? More sad songs. Why? Because the devil is saying, girl, you need to listen to that song, girl. Go ahead. Throw on that sad song. Go ahead. Throw on some Mary. Lord help Mary J. Blige. Okay? Lord help her. Anyway, my point being, and I hope you got something out of this message, is that every demonic spirit is looking for an entryway.